So, so the idea. Let me start with a few questions. Have either of you sat down to do something and had a ping or ding distract you from what you were doing?
How many times a day?
Thank you very much. Don is in the right spot. Bob, yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Deepak, that doesn't happen up in Canada, does it?
Every time.
Every time. Okay. So good. We're all the right people to be in here so far, one for one. Have you, and I wrote these down, so forgive me, I'm reading these. Have you ever ended the day feeling exhausted, but looking back, not a thing really got done that you wanted to have done? Has that ever happened, or is that just me?
Nope.
Dawn, you can't
Yes.
say every day, but I know that look. I've known you long enough.
Almost every day, and sometimes I'm exhausted by noon.
By noon. Bingo. You wake up early like me though, so
I
that
do.
part might be okay. Okay, Deepak, does that ring true? I know some of the days we've talked about that one actually.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever said, "Would everyone please leave me alone so I can finish blank, fill in the blank." That
No,
that they won't
Yes.
go away some days.
no, I
I,
just
I
let
need to do not
get to it.
disturb on my phone, which I have. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for allowing me to tee that one up, Bob. Yes, you do. You do have a do not disturb. Um, okay, cool. So we're all in the right place. We're here having the conversation. I need to share a story and then we'll dive into this. About 14 years ago, I find myself in a ballroom. Bob, I'm not sure if you were there. Dawn, you and I have actually spoke about this. I don't think you were there either. I was in a ballroom here in Southern California, somewhere between here and San Diego, with Tom. It's October, November, and we're in a 3 day second elite retreat for the year when he used to do two a year. It may have been San Diego now that I'm saying it out loud. On one of the days, Darren Hardy spoke. Darren Hardy's a business guru, author, used to be editor in chief of Success Magazine, a business guru. He spoke for 8 hours. Bob, were you there? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't
Oh,
remember this one.
okay.
No.
All right.
What year
So
was it? Do you remember?
14 years ago, whatever math that is.
Okay, no.
Yeah,
Would
okay.
not have not been
13
there.
or 14 years ago. And Darren Hardy spoke for like 8 hours. So this was a big deal. You guys have seen Tom. Nobody speaks for 8 hours, including Tom, at Tom events nowadays. So it was a big deal. For 90 minutes of this talk, Mr. Hardy talked about one subject that auto populated in my mind a couple months ago during an interaction with a client, and his subject was monotasking versus multitasking, right? Monotasking versus multitasking, doing one thing at a time versus doing all the things that we try to do at one time. And that led into switching activities. And that led into a whole lot of conversation that I want to dive into, with his solution ultimately being something called a jam session, a 90-minute block of time that we keep to ourselves, and we tell the world to go away for a little bit so we can actually do the thing that we are supposed to be doing. And that's what I want to talk about today, because that moment profoundly changed my life and in the way I started thinking about getting things done. And if we aren't careful, we have that conversation all the time. We all have 24 hours in a day. Why aren't we doing what we want to do? No, Don, I'm not specifically talking to you, I promise. And how do we do it? So that's the conversation I want to jump into today. So check this out. All right, I am going to go through decks. I don't go through many decks, but everybody loves a great deck. So here we go. Busy versus productive. I think this is pretty easy. I don't want to just be here and read the slides, guys, but we have been busy, full of things. The day is happening to us versus those days where we are intentional, proactive, on top of it. Everything is scheduled out and we are hitting the day productively, not just busy. Dawn, there's a difference, right? This is this was maybe made for you, actually, Dawn. Now that I'm saying it out loud.
I'm getting better,
You
sort of.
are. Well, here, this is the best news. As I've been studying and putting this together and spending more time, I've learned about this dude. This dude. Anybody know who this man is? I know it's a small picture. This
When you
man
started,
is Blaise Pascal, and he said all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability. He meant man and woman's inability to sit quietly in a room alone, and he left off and focus on one thing. All of humanity's problems stem from our inability to sit quietly in a room. He is a philosopher from the 1600s. It's not the computer. It's not the cell phone. We need D&D because we've allowed the technology to be the thing today, not the lions and God and the famine and the Romans and all the other things that were coming for us that we apparently were thinking about versus the task at hand. I thought this was very
Right.
interesting. Right? Does that surprise anybody? That shocked the hell out of me, guys, when I read this. Dawn, what lands there? You have that look. Talk to me.
So what lands is not anything to have to do with real estate, but kids. There's like I have nieces and nephews, and one of the things that I give my nephew's wife a lot of credit for is that she doesn't let her kids go on any social screens. I mean, they have some TV time, but she gets them outside. She gets them doing things where like even kids, they're not creative anymore because they're either in the car running to some gymnastics, soccer, surfing, something, or they're on some sort of screen. So, but that's what I thought of because it's one of my pet peeves that kids don't have time to be creative or
Right.
sit alone and get things done.
Yeah. I think it's the same time. I think it's when Bob, and he and I have talked about this in his own time with the beverage of appropriateness for the day and fading off into the 2 hours of deep work. That's where Bob's creativity shines. I know it is, right? And I don't think it has anything to do with the beverage of choice, quite frankly. It's the quiet, it's the into the work, the flow that we enjoy or we want to do. Bob, what do you think about with this quote? What comes to mind?
I think this is critical to people's success.
Yeah.
I think we live in such a frenetic world of our phone and the news cycle and the buyer and the seller and the dog and whatever and the kid that we are giving up time that we need for ourselves and our own thought process and just to do something we wish to do.
Bingo.
We are giving if I asked each of you in this call for $1,000, you would think, oh wow, why am I giving him $1,000? But if I steal an hour of your time, you're like, oh well, that's more. We can make more money. We cannot make more time.
That's right. That's
And
right.
nobody gets to the end of this race and goes, God, I wish I'd worked another day.
We haven't heard it once. We haven't heard
I
it
mean,
once.
I haven't really been interviewing, but I can imagine that's not what we're doing. So yeah,
Yeah. Deepak, what do you think? What thoughts come to mind when you think about this?
yeah, sometimes we are so much into looking good and too nice, where it is so hard to say no to people,
Yeah.
to family, to team, to office staff, clients, and they run my day. I work on their priorities, not mine. Versus there are so many things which need to be done for me time first.
Yes. Yes. I love that. This is a perfect conversation. I'm glad you guys are here for this conversation. So he wrote it more than 350 years ago. I said, no phone, no inbox, no notifications. The struggle to hold our attention is older than every distraction we blame for it. Man, so true.
yeah.
What are we blaming today? I found this. I love this. I had to share, and let's move. Multitasking is a myth. Stick with me here. What feels like getting more done is almost always getting less done. slower and with more mistakes. Watch the research around this. Your brain doesn't multitask, it switches. So we get down, we sit down, we're going to make the calls, and the ping, the ding, the distraction, the I got to go potty, I got to go get a cup of coffee, whatever it is. Neuroscience is blunt. The brain cannot run two demanding tasks at the same time. It cannot. They don't say sometimes, they say it cannot. It cannot. We're doing one thing at a time. We're not doing two. We stop doing this and do that. We are not doing two things simultaneously. We are switching, and every flip burns time and energy, switching costs, and it quietly compounds all day long. All day long. Watch this. Psychologists call it the 40% tax. 40% of productive time can be lost to constant task switching. So this brings me to a thought that's not on here. Because of this, batching is a thing, right? We've heard in recent years and months of batching our content days together, right, Dawn? Makes sense. Batching our emails, batching our texting, batching our MLS searches, batching our CMAs, batching our dials, batching our data entry. And that way we can use the power of momentum versus losing 40% in our productivity to say, hold on a minute, bink, 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 and then whatever happens, happens. Bouncing between prospecting calls, the inbox, social media isn't multitasking. It's a 40% tax on the most, what did you say, Bob? Valuable hours of the day. We can get more money. We can't get more time. It's gone. It's gone. If we were paying a 40%, oh, wait, we are. We might consider moving to another country, but Bob, you're paying about that tax anyways, different reasons. Anyway, we move to Florida. That's what we do, Don. And we pay less tax, right? Where do we go if we're paying 40% tax on our time? That's on us. Wherever we go, we show up. That tax follows us. We can't move out of that unless we get a hold of our calendar, of our schedule, of our jam sessions. Okay, 40% turns into this. Watch this. Gloria Mark, my girl, UC Irvine. I wish I was in California, right down the street from me, about 20 minutes from me. How long does it take to return to a task after an interruption? Dawn, you said all day long you're switching. Every time you switch on average, it costs 23 minutes and 15 seconds.
Every time?
Wow.
On average. Sometimes you come right back to the thing you were focused on. Many times you do not. 23 minutes and 15 seconds on average until you do.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe it.
It's 23 minutes? Hey, Brooke, 23 minutes. Brooke, monotask, don't multitask. You've caught up. It costs you 23 minutes when you get distracted off a project. Holy shit. There it is. I said it. Holy shit. We're doing it to ourselves. Do I have your attention with this stuff, guys? Any thoughts or questions before I move on?
You're right on track.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, Brooke, I'll catch you up. I promise. You'll get it. So check this one out. In addition to that, there's residue. There's residue. We don't even think about this. When you switch tasks, your attention doesn't switch task cleanly. Part of it stays behind. You're editing a video, Brooke, and now you got to talk to Rose? Rose about an open house. Is it Rose? Rose, yeah. There's residue left. You're not all in with Rose right now because you just interrupted what you were doing. It's crazy. So answering one email real quick in the middle of a prospecting block in place of your focus stays on that email. Then the next 10 calls, the residue coming back is still there also, right? So even if we do come back on right away, the residue of that is still impeding our 100% focus. Wild. And so here's, some of us guys think we're good multitaskers. As I'm learning and as I've learned, I am horrible at it. I'm a man, I'm me. all the things bad at it. Some of y'all on the other side think you're good at multitasking, like my wife. Love you,
It's
honey.
because we've been told that our
You
entire
have
life.
been told this your whole I have been told you are and I'm bad at it my whole life also. This
Mhm.
calls bullshit on that. A Stanford study compares heavy and light media multitaskers. The heavy group was worse at filtering out distractions, shocker, worse at memory recall, and the irony, slower and less accurate at switching task itself. So
Hmm.
only 1 in 40 can truly multitask. Practicing it eroded it. It didn't build the skill. And 1 out of 40, sorry, that is a female. I don't care. We're not 1 out of 40, guys. Sorry. Not a chance. Not a chance. I will go to my grave knowing that one. All right. So it's not doing more, it's protecting the time. And all of this, guys, is leading up to that jam session and protecting your time. Every study points in the same direction. The switching tasks, the 23 minutes, the attention residue. That trifecta, right? If you're thinking like Don, you're blowing smoke. No, that trifecta, once I really understood it, blew me away with what we are responsible for when it comes to our time. We're responsible for it all. Whose phone do you think? I know you can't see it. Whose phone is this? Probably.
Yours?
Yours.
Yeah, that's right. So when it rings, I have a choice, right? Actually, my choice shows up before it rings. My choice showed up at 125, maybe 425 your time, Don. My choice came to shut all my notifications off and put jam session number 1 on in my phone so nobody can get through for our time together.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I wanted to be very clear on what we're talking about here because on the surface, it seems pretty simple. If you don't do it every day, it's a really hard thing to do. Bob, was that a hand?
Yeah, yeah. One of the most freeing things I did was I put my phone on do not disturb 24/7. I will
Amen.
return calls when I choose. I will
Amen.
look at the news when I choose. I will look at my mail when I choose. And not and when I had my mom I was caring for and a doctor and an emergency might have happened, it stayed on. I'm no longer in that position, and there is nothing in real estate that is a dreadful emergency unless the house is on fire. And if it is literally on fire, I'm not the first call you make.
That's right. That's right.
I will catch you when I'm ready.
My phone has only been on ring for the same reason, Bob, since mom's been doing her
Yeah.
mom thing,
Sorry,
right?
I didn't
That's
mean
the
to.
same thing. No,
I
no,
didn't mean to.
trigger. No, it's all good. But same thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Deepak, I love you. I'm not going to answer your phone call right now, right? That's just how it is, and it doesn't
My
ring.
voicemail literally says, I don't answer this line. Please leave me a message or text me, and I will get back to you as I can.
Let me just add one more. Aaron, my buddy here. You guys have heard me, Bob. You've talked to Aaron. He earned about 600,000 one year. He changed his voicemail. I don't return calls after 6:30 or on Sundays, but I will talk to you the next business day. God bless. Have a great day. Went to over $1 million that year in GCI. Nothing else changed. Everything else was the same in his business.
Yeah.
Amazing what happens when you take control of your calendar. Okay, so all of that. 3 kinds of jam sessions, and a jam session can be anything. We normally talk about it when it's revenue generating, right? Prospecting, follow up, getting the marketing done, getting the videos done, blocking out everything. But there is the pipeline, like what's in session now, right? Our listings, our buyers, our escrows. There's time to get rid of the rest of the world and just focus on what's live now. And then there's the third style, the growth, the projects, the AI, the content creation. Bob, that's what you do really well, is this third late at night that we've talked about in your creativity mode.
Yeah.
You do it 24/7 actually. However, if we're going to swap tasks, The idea is to load them in the same jam session so you are using the power of momentum with the power of focus, right? We're doing the same work during that. We are not switching tasks. Does that make sense? Cool. One's revenue. That should be a jam session daily for all of us looking to grow the business. Two is the pipeline management. Could be a weekly, depending on our actives, pendings, and solds and what we call our pipeline management. But the third one, man, if we are growing, it's that third, the growth, figuring out where AI projects go in the calendar, Don, sticking to it and eliminating the distractions because I need to learn. It's not coming natural to me. I need to spend some focused time here. So these are the three sessions that I see. And crazy guys, consider this for a moment. What if you had a rev session, a pipeline session, and a growth session 5 days a week? And you're like, that's 4.5 hours of time. That's 4.5 hours of, I know you, 10, 12, 15 hours. It's only 4.5 hours of the day. I know we do it to ourselves, Don. I can read your mind. We do it to ourselves.
After this long, yes, you can.
I can. Bob, I almost can. Deepak, he's so stoic. And Brooke's so taking notes, I can't figure her out right now. But you I can, yes.
Thank you. I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's absolutely good. Guys, Don and I have been together for well over a decade. So, yeah, we have a lot of these conversations. Okay, so if you have 2 per day, let's think about 2. Again, 3 hours a day of actually focused work. Bob, let me ask you, you're a coach. Is that bad customer service if I'm a solo agent not to answer the phone 3 hours a day?
No,
I agree.
no, absolutely not, because I need to be able to focus on the work at hand. If I'm with you and I'm out showing a house with you, you don't expect me to take phone calls from other people while I'm showing you the house, do you? While I'm
Right.
negotiating on that contract that we wrote for the house you love, you don't expect me to be multitasking and taking 17 other things, right?
That's right.
No. So when I'm with you, I'm with you. But when I'm not with you, I'm going to be focused and I'll return your call as quickly as I can or your message.
Bingo. You're sitting down at the listing appointment and I call you. You guys all know the right answer. Please say you know the right answer.
I'll get back to you when we can. Yeah.
Yeah, do not answer my call. Don't answer Tom's call. Don't answer your spouse. I'll leave that up to you, okay? I'm not a monster. But the phone should be in do not disturb is the idea, right? That
Yeah.
too is a jam session. Give your attention to the people you're with. So imagine if you could put 15, Deepak, this slide's for you, my friend. Imagine what happens with 15 uninterrupted hours a week. You get 40 to 80, my man. Maybe 120 on those weeks, right? 15 where no disturbances happen. The gatekeepers know, the agents know, D&D is set, settings are set. You just got to remember to turn them all back on if you want the chaos to ensue. That is the game, right? Sometimes it's so good you keep going without it. Don't tell anybody. They're okay. They'll wait for you to call back, I promise. All right, so here's what I found. We need some guardrails. We need some rules for ourselves. And I believe sometimes these seem very simple, but we have also learned the simple completely outweighs the profound most of the time if we can actually execute on it. So the phone goes on do not disturb. We have airplane mode. We have D&D. We have, you guys know the Focus app. You all know the Focus on the iPhone? Dawn, you do. Brooke, you do. Deepak, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Bob, you have a green phone. Do they have something like that on the green phones? I don't know. That wasn't one of these, but thank you for that. That's really what's going on through my mind. You know that.
Yeah, yes, we have the ability to focus. Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't know if that
The
made it
green phone.
over to Google or not. I just wanted to be
The
sure.
green
Okay,
phone.
awesome. No email, no social, no task switching.
Yes.
So D&D, airplane mode, do not disturb, no email, no social, no task switching. I know that takes all the fun out of it, but again, focused Getting shit done mode is what we're talking about here. One defined outcome before the task. Did I run through that? I may not have got to it yet. Okay. Working on my business. Did I get rid of that? Okay, we'll just keep going. Working on my business is not a specific outcome. Editing 5 videos in the next 2 hours is a jam session. Contacting 25 people is a jam session, right? Prospecting until I set one appointment is a jam session. Be specific. Number 4 is my new absolute favorite rule. And I triple dog dare you all to add it. Set a timer. Stop looking at the clock, do your work, set a timer, it'll go off. Technology is pretty good today. Use it for good, not for bad. Ping! The other way. Turn it off, set a timer. They'll get you on your time, as Bob taught us. Absolutely. Do not reschedule ever. I think that goes without question, but I do want to add, if you find a $5 million client who can only meet during your jam session, I expect that you have an appointment slot in your schedule also.
Mhm.
I assume so much about your schedules. Play Tetris and move it around, go sell a house, get back here and stick to your jam session. That's all. If that block's not there, what are y'all going to do? You're going to move it and go to happy hour. Move it, go do something else. You will not come back to the time block. Dawn, I am talking directly to you on this one. Yes.
Yes, I know.
Yes. Okay. And lastly, it's got to be in the schedule. Build the week around it. What I find too much, and Bob, you hear this all the time as a coach, this came up, so I didn't. Fill in the blank. Whether it's calls or texts or emails or CMAs or follow-up or fill in the blank, this came up. And I always ask, if $1 million listing appointment was on the schedule, what would have happened?
Right.
And you're damn skippy, you would have scheduled around it 97% of the time, except for those 3% of things that just happen in life, right?
I always ask people something very similar but different, like especially if they have children. What time do you take the kids to school? Do you ever miss that? Do you ever forget to take the kids, pick up the kids from school because you had to go meet an inspector? No.
Figure
The
it
other
out.
one I will ask you, and I'll play this with Dawn, if you will. Dawn, what city are you in, my friend?
I am in Golden Valley right now.
Other Dawn, not the
Oh,
pretty
there you
Dawn,
go.
not
Sorry.
you. The
Stewart,
pretty Dawn.
Florida,
That's a different
Stuart,
one.
okay, what's my airport that I'm going to fly in to meet you at?
PBI, West Palm.
Okay, so I'm going to fly into West Palm. My flight's going to get in about 11:30 at night. By the time I rent the car and get my luggage, it'll probably be about 12:30. The house I want to see, can you go get the keys and let's go see it about 1 in the morning? It's
I
going to be really important. It's going to go off the
like a
market so
hell yeah.
fast on. But a good realtor would get me in.
It's owner occupied. We can't get in.
You just talk to them, please. I need to see this house before anybody else bids on it.
No, I don't work those hours.
You can put a boundary around 1 in the morning. You can put a boundary around 10 in the morning. You know how many agents have failed that test with me?
I bet a lot.
I guess I can. I can talk to the other. No. Okay, thank you. I'll shush.
No, it's beautiful. This is why this is great, because there's all different analogies to pull all this together. And there's no wrong way to look at this other than the general question of whose schedule do you follow? Whose task list do you complete? I bet the answer to both of those, you want to say yours. Cool, me too. I check mine off, I follow my schedule, I move it and play Tetris as required. And I hold on tight to those things that I've decided mean more than me giving in to the BS that I tell myself. This is just going to take a minute. I'll be, It doesn't work like that. Set up the parameters to achieve the goals we say we want. That's what this is. All right. So here it is. Vague intentions versus specific outcomes. I think I need to move the slide, Bob, is what I just decided. Have specific outcomes. Don't have well-intended general, unless, and let me put a caveat here, I've learned some of you work off a awesome checklist every day. And if that awesome checklist has 5, 10, 20, 5 to 10 minute activities, and it's gone. You know, those things we put off, but when we sit down, it's just knocked out in no time at all, right? Finishing that task list should be a jam session, right? It could be, but it doesn't need to be 90 minutes. Maybe if it needs to be, it needs to be, but these can show up in 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute, 3.5-hour increments as needed. You're going to start twitching if you put a 90-minute block without checking your phone. Dawn, I know, start with 45 minutes at a time and ease into this stuff, but have a specific outcome. So here's the fix before you guys get into this, and before you even talk yourself out of this with your own excuses of I got busy, I needed to check something really quick, I don't have 90 minutes. I have a short 2-word answer that I'm going to keep up here in my head for this. The fix of I got busy: schedule sessions like listing appointments, non-negotiables, they do not move. We've talked about it. I needed to check something, write it down. It's the only piece of paper around me, Dawn, but I got one. If there's something to remember, and this is what I found really was hard for me. If I don't do it right now, I'm going to forget. Yeah? I send the email, I got to follow up and set the search up. I just went from email to my MLS. That's a mess. Write it down, do it when you're done. Write it down, do it when you're done. Stay making the calls. I believe the way I prospect, I pull my 10 to 20 dials, I make handwritten notes, and either I or someone else data entry at the end. I don't data entry when I call. It gets in my way of calling. I want to talk to people. I want to poke buttons. Right? Now, if you can set AI up to take notes, if it can verbally capture, awesome. Thank you, Revy. It does that well for us, as we know. Not all CRMs do that. If you need to take notes written and get back on the phone. Write it down. Don't act on it until your session ends. And then I don't have 90 minutes. We talked about it. Start with 30. Start with 60. Build one in a week. One of these a week. Who's done this recently on purpose for zero distractions? Without another human on the other side. Not me, not a prospect, not a client. Who's done this for yourself in the past 30 days?
Not me.
Okay. That's the answer 100% I've gotten this week asking that question, by the way. 100% of the time. Remember the last time you did something uninterrupted for yourself, work or life. How did you feel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did it. I've been twice this week, Don. I was like, I'm working out, and I close the door, and someone opened the door and let the dog in. The dog interrupts me. I kick the dog right out. I finished my damn workout.
Good.
So, and
Good.
it feels amazing because I've been wanting to do it. I actually have a question for you.
Yes.
With regard to this and your perspective, Bob. I'd love yours too. So I'm learning things. I just got a prospecting tool and I got my contacts all loaded up and I went to use it, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure. I thought it was like following instructions, and it took me a minute to figure out what was going on.
Okay. Yes.
And this is like a small example. Same thing with YouTube. It took me a while to figure out why isn't this posting. So when you are learning something new, your time block is done, but you didn't accomplish the thing
Yep.
that you said you're going to do. I'm going to make X number of calls in this block. The block is up.
And
What
now
is
I
your-
just push the start button. Yes, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that? What have you learned? What has wisdom taught you?
Two thoughts, and actually the correct answer is welcome to life and a lot of prioritizing It's all a bunch of decisions to make. So at that point, you have a decision. What's next? Is it time to move on? If it's another appointment with yourself that doesn't affect anybody else, nobody cares, Brooke. You call it. If you have a listing appointment, obviously go on your appointment. But if it's not, if the next thing is as important as this thing is to you, I think you should move on, set a new block, and come back and kill it from the get. Because you've just spent an I see a Deepak, you just spent an hour going through this and got it set up but didn't talk to anybody. What kind of frame of mind are you to talk to people at this moment too? So I would say you have to weigh all that
Yeah.
out. I don't think it's a cut and dry answer. But
And you know
Deepak,
what, Don?
oh
I
please.
was so um it was such a kerfluffle that finally the phone it appeared to me that someone finally picked up, and I was all like because I was like, did that just work? And I thought to myself, now I gotta pull back and get my mindset right
That's right.
and do this thing.
Yep. Your decision to you wanted to talk to 20 people, you and figured it out. Still a successful jam session. If there's something to do, go do that. Come back the next session that's set up and kill it. That's probably the right answer. Um, Again, if you have nothing pressing, would you please go set an appointment? Right? It's okay, recenter yourself and get after it. But if there's something else to do, that's the time. It's time to move on. Deepak, what do you have to add to that?
I have a question, Don.
Yes,
My one thing is calling 25 people a week, like,
that's right.
five meaningful conversation. What is the best time to call circle of influence or past lane and cold leads? I mean, the Facebook ad leads. Is there any specific time in your experience is the best time to reach out to these different category of people?
So I have thoughts. I know Bob is itching at this one too. The first best time to call is when you'll actually pick up the phone and call. That's number one, right? Number two,
Sorry, sorry. What's number one? I didn't catch it.
number one is the time that you'll actually get on the phone and make the calls. That's
Makes
time
Yeah.
sense.
best number one. Time best number two, let's face it, the answer none of us like is 4 to 6 Monday through Friday and 10 to 1 on Saturdays. That's number two, scientifically, I've seen. Number three, my favorite, 9 to noon, because I'm at my best for those conversations. I am going to have the best energy, and I'm okay with them calling me back this afternoon or this evening. I'm not going to wait to call them till this evening unless I already know that's something I need to do. If I'm just dialing and smiling, I'm going with my best schedule, and my best green energy schedule is 9 to noon on the phone. I know that. So
Yes,
I will take the people that show up during that time. I will leave messages for the rest or not. That's fine for me. 4 to 6 because people are off school, off work, they're home. The challenges, school, softball, soccer, work. I got in a fight with my spouse. So you have different objections to handle at different parts of the day. Also, in the morning, less people. But if they're home during the day, I can go work with them during the day, less evenings and weekends for me. I like that also as an agent trying to control my time. So, best time is when you're going to call anytime. Call it 7 at night. I don't care, right? If that's where you're at your best, call then. Second, the time doesn't lie. 4 to 6, 10 to 1. And then third, my energy is the best. And of course, that's my favorite is when I'm at my best.
and 10 to 1 is for weekend, you said, and 4 to 6 for Monday to Friday.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
And personally, here, just a Friday afternoon, incredible time to go knock on doors. Incredible time to knock on doors, at least in Southern California. That's what I know. Okay. We'll go have 10 contacts and come home with 17 conversations because the mailman and the neighbors and everybody's out. Right? It's Friday. And if you're not a 5 day a weeker, you're a 4:10 or a 3:12 or anything like that, you're home on Fridays normally. You're home. Okay, how are we on time? Cool. All right. Take a snapshot of this, guys, if you want it. We got to track what we're doing. If you're really going to take this on, how many are you doing? Is it working? You can capture it here, or you can just look back on your week on your calendar and how many of those guys did I really fulfill this week? Right? What am I tracking? Okay. Here, 4 questions we've come up with to make sure you're doing it at the level you want, and there's no half-assing jam sessions. Not that any of you would.
Nope.
Was that a jam session or was that reactive work? I love that question. Was that reactive work? And most of us, most of the days seem to fall in that category. What was my one outcome going in? Right? If you don't have one, it wasn't really a jam session. Did I protect the time or did I leak it? That's a good word when it comes to time. And how many revenue sessions did I complete this week? This is the metric we've been chasing forever. That's the one that matters, right? That's the one that controls everything. Questions for you. Okay, you don't have to do 3 all at once, build in once a week. Introduce the comment, commit to 1, pick your first outcome, just get the habit going. Move into 2 a day or 2 a week, depending on your schedule. Review the tracker, identify your disciplines, because it's going to take a while. You guys know how we always say from stage, just cut his head off, put yours on, and print, right? It's never that easy, is it? There's always figuring out to do in the process. This is no different. And then optimize. How do we get to 3 a day? Imagine again, 4.5 hours of uninterrupted time. Sounds so blissful to me. Sounds so good, right? It really is. It really is. Your calendar is either an accident or a decision. My favorite line of the whole deck. Okay, we are not done yet. So, never mind. I won't worry about that QR code for you guys. Anybody watching, click that for more resources. Okay, so I have decided why this is so hard. And it's not because we're human. Yes, we discovered that in the 1600s, apparently. But me and Claude came up with a list, all the things you do, all the things that were absolutely our responsibility as agents. It's friggin' exhausting, and I'm sure this is an incomplete list. This is 11 categories of all the stuff. And you are expected to do it all within 12 to 15 hours a day. Have some time off, live life, learn what you got to do, go sell some. It's a lot. So, one of my great sales managers, Tom Pelton, shout out to Tom, years ago said, we either control our day or we succumb to the tyranny of the urgent.
Say that again.
We succumb to the tyranny of the urgent. It fits so well with everything we just said because, guys, it's important, but rarely is it urgent and important during that 1 hour that you set up this day and that thing happened that threw you off for the whole day.
Yeah.
With love, we can do better protecting our time. We say we want to hit the goals. Cool. You're doing some of the things kind of to hit the goals. Why don't we give yourself some focus time to hit them regardless of the chaos going on? We're in control to do that. Okay. I hope that was helpful. What other thoughts, concerns, questions are on your mind, guys? What do you think?
I think this is great.
Awesome.
Very helpful.
Awesome.
Thank you, Don. Great reminder of
My
being
pleasure.
organized.
I appreciate it.
One place I find leak, I'm sorry, Brooke, did you want to jump in?
No, go for it.
One place I find people leaking time is they can't They don't organize their desktop and they don't organize their files on their computer. And we'll be working together in a tech hour, or they'll share their screen and their desktop is absolutely plastered with documents all over this way. And they're not sorted in any way. And when I say, okay, give me your headshot or upload this blog or whatever we did, and they're always looking and can't find it, and Siri or whoever isn't helping them, organize your files in a basic structure, have a clean desktop. If you cook in your kitchen, do you pull every pot, pan, dish, towel, everything and put it on the countertop? No, you need clean countertops to work on. Why is it that our computer is the place that everything just gets jumbled and I'll find it eventually? Well, you're leaking time finding it and not going and doing the thing.
Sounds like a jam session to set up if it's not already done so. Yeah, that's great.
And I'll remember to invite everybody. I'm so sorry.
Well, you share this with everybody. If they want it again, we'll do it again. How about that?
Yeah.
So everybody that works with Bob, this message is for you. Enjoy. I hope it helps, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Bob, for joining us, and I'll get the recording out to everybody over the weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Take care.
Thank you, Don.
Hey, Don.
Bye.
Sean.
Yes.
Ron, I'm going to come to. I've got this on my calendar now every week, so
Awesome.
I'm your client. I might as well be on.
I would love that, absolutely.
It's part of my coaching, Don.
And now I'm going to say it in public, on recording. Your team is 100% invited every week also.
Thank you.
There
Thank
you go. All
Appreciate
right,
that.
cool. Same
And
goes
Don
with
and Bob
the
show.
rest of you. Yes. What's that?
It's the Don and Bob show.
It's the Don and Bob show. We talked about
It's the
putting
Don
more.
Show featuring Bob.
There we go.
We'll
This
leave
is
it
his
that.
show.
Have a great week, guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye bye.